Yo, what is going on, guys? It is Jay back with another case study. We are here with my boy Landon today. We actually did a case study previously on Landon. This is kind of the second one, and kind of we're checking in again, seeing where he's at. Last time we did check in with Landon, he was kind of starting to get things rolling. He was getting his first payouts, but he was still obviously in kind of that early process. Fast forward to now, 5 more payouts. He's way more disciplined, and honestly, a completely different trader. Obviously a much better trader. And today we're kind of diving into, how much he's grown since the last time, we sat down. So let's kind of do, an advancement since last video. Back when we first filmed our first Katie, so you were still kind of, proving yourself that you could do this. And, what would you say feels different about your trading compared from then to now?
Really, it's more like, like a confidence part and stuff like that.
Okay.
And with the whole, like sort of thing where, hyper focusing on, just one like confluence, when like I'm aware of like other confluences and stuff instead of hyper focusing on one. Like whatever I see in the market, I just apply to it and stuff like that.
Right.
Instead of just, oh my goodness, a fair value gap. Let me hyper fixate on this, like.
Right. For sure. Yeah, I definitely agree. You've gone, from somebody who was kind of testing the waters with all of those concepts to somebody who knows exactly what he's looking for and what he's doing day in and day out. And so that's obviously a huge jump in such a short time. And then, kind of on like the technical and skill growth side, talk to me about the actual skills. Last time you kind of had the basics down, you were understanding the basics of all of the concepts that I've taught you with our system. But since then, what parts of your system have you really mastered, would you say?
Definitely like the over leveraging part, and the whole thing with psychology and stuff like that.
Okay.
Really, really just the whole psychology part, which includes risk management, which goes back to like over leveraging and shit like that. So
for sure, yeah, I definitely agree. I think that the growth, mentally has definitely been there. Obviously, that's something we're still working on and piecing together. But I think that the growth of the discipline and not over trading, not revenge trading is something that has improved massively. And then. That the growth shows with the results. And then, kind of what about execution? How has your discipline been with like entries, kind of your stop loss placement, and how has that improved since then, would you say, kind of your entries?
I'm keeping a checklist where, I make sure my stop loss is at correct placement where I'm not over risking too much.
Mm-hmm.
And every single trade, I make sure my stop loss is, at wherever prices could potentially fall to. Say we're in longs, there's like a gap like 28 ticks down or whatever.
Okay, yeah, for sure. So when we filmed our first video, you were still kind of finding your footing, confidence wise, and now you carry yourself definitely a lot different, like somebody who knows who belongs in this game. Like that's who you've been acting like. And how has your confidence grown, kind of with each payout that you've gotten?
Really, it's just the same amount of growth for each payout and stuff like that. Because like every like milestone that I hit, right? It's at like the beginning, I thought like, oh my goodness, I'm gonna feel so great after this.
Yeah.
But then it's just like, it happened. So.
Right, for sure. Yeah, and that's the thing, once you stack, those back-to-back wins, it no longer becomes about proving that you can do it. It's, knowing you will, right? Because you've already proven that you can do it once, like you can do it again, and again. And you've obviously shown that with your 5 payouts. And now let's talk results. You've added, 5 more payouts, and actually had a $10,000 month, since the last video. And that's obviously not by chance. It's just proof of, growth and consistency. How does that feel, looking back and realizing you've leveled up this much? Like, how does that actually feel?
To be honest, bro, like, myself, like, way before I even got my first payout would expect me to feel like, oh my goodness, I made it, like bro, like but it's just part of like how this game works, bro. Like,
right. For sure, it's definitely something where it's like you know, the people that do get super, super excited and they chill out and they think that, you know, they've made it, that's all they need to do once they've gotten one payout, that's when everything goes bad because, you know, it is a part of the game. Making money is the ultimate goal, and so at a point you need to kind of act like you've been in the game, man, and that's exactly why you continue to level up, because you're not getting, you know, that like dopamine rush from getting, you know, those 5 payouts, right? It's just it's a normal occurrence and it happens, and you keep moving on to the next one and the next one, and that's, you know, the difference between most traders is, like I said, they hit one payout, they'll fall back, and you've shown you can repeat it, and that's, you know, exactly what real trading, you know, is about. And so, you know, to kind of close it out, Landon, if there's somebody that is watching this and they're where you were back in the first video, you know, hungry but unsure, you know, what would you tell them?
Bro, just keep going. Don't fucking stop, bro. Don't get too comfortable. Don't think, oh, since I got this one payout, I can finally relax. No, the fuck you can't, bro. It's always something for you to get better at.
Exactly.
Always something for you to get better at.
Exactly. And that's it right there. It's the killer mindset, and that's exactly why he continues to keep making improvements and progress. And if you're serious, if you are truly serious about advancing like Landon has, click the link in the description of this video to watch my free training and apply to learn my system. Get inside and get the same system to, you know, put yourself in a position to grow just like he has, because at the end of the day, that this isn't about chasing one payout, right? It's about becoming the kind of trader that can do it again, and again.